Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to Championship Sunday here at MLG Finals, live from New Orleans. Spencer on the analyst desk, joined by Maven and Mr. X. Winners bracket final about to get underway. It's been a wonderful Sunday so far, Maeve.
It has. This is the first time I've actually been in the middle of analysis, and I currently feel like Shaquille O'Neal. I feel like a giant.
You are. That's why I wanted you in the middle.
Snagging rebounds.
Just.
No, it's been a great day so far. We've got a lot of great matchups, Ben. How you feeling, Matt? Ready to rock?
I'm surprised by that denial victory over FaZe.
Yeah.
Are you really, though?
Yeah, kind of. I thought FaZe would come in here with a lot more intensity than they showed. I mean, denial looked great. They're going to move on. I believe they play Envy over on Bravo, but the match we have, what we're going to talk about, is going to be Elevate versus OG. I think if you see the Elevate from yesterday, it's going to be a tough one for Optic, but for as much as we talked about how Optic hasn't looked great, haven't been amazing, they're
still here,
getting by pretty easy, and they're still here.
Right. I think me and TP were kind of talking about it a little bit yesterday. Look at the teams Optic's played, though, and look at how close some of those games have been. They go 2-0 down against Infused in pool play. Yes, they ultimately clutch up and win, which is obviously the sign of a great team.
Yeah.
Justice, they played them, didn't look too comfortable.
Well, how good
Envy,
does Justice look now? Just drop him to Envy. I mean, Justice looked great.
I guess, fair enough. And then, of course, Team Envious as well in that winners bracket. I think this is really going to be the true test. And going into that game one hardpoint, for me, if Optic continue to play the way they played hardpoint in the past, or this whole event, Elevate's just going to have.
Well,
it
all depends on what Elevate we see. If we see the Elevate that lost to Envy.
Honestly, even if we don't see that Elevate, even if we see a kind of subpar Elevate coming in on Championship Sunday, which I don't think we will, I still think hardpoint, the way Optic has been playing hardpoint, they just have not been rotating at all. And it's like you see them do it 1 point in a game and they'll hold down a hill for 60 points. But it's so
Sunday. It's Sunday.
That's the thing.
No one beats Optic Gaming but FaZe on Sunday. When they start rolling, they pull it together. Championship caliber team. Do I think Elevate has a chance? Yeah. If they play like they did against Denial, I don't think any of us can argue that they have a good opportunity. But I just think we're going to see a different Optic, man. They're going to be rolling today.
So who is going to be your key player then, Maeve?
For Optic?
From Elevate.
From
Elevate. If Elevate's going to have any chance of being Optic Gaming here
Saints.
on Sunday.
The reason I'm really looking at Saints is just because historically Saints crushes until sometimes when he plays top teams, at times he disappears a little bit.
Okay.
He's a guy that I just think will have monster performances or kind of just lurk in the shadows, just not really have big games. This is one where I need him to go off, man.
I mean, remember we kind of looked at the stats ourselves when we were actually over on Bravo. The guys finished second at every kind of event.
Every final event for
of a game,
he's second. Ghost, and now an opportunity here
to his chance.
Get second.
Maybe he can potentially beat it for the first time in his career, but it has to go through the green wall first, man.
For OG, I think it's got to be Crim. You know what you're going to get out of Formal. You know what you're going to get out of Scum. Those guys are going to put in numbers. You need one of those other two guys to step up. Feel a lot better about it right now with Crim than Karma. I mean, Karma, he's been playing well, doing good in situational plays. He's been Karma hasn't been very good in Search and Destroy, but some of the respawns, he's made some big plays that have opened up the door for them. But Crim's been playing pretty well this weekend.
Yeah, Crim has actually had a fantastic event, and I think a lot of kind of, I don't want to say pressure, but I agree with what you say. You know you're going to have a good performance from Formal. You know what you're going to get with Scumpy. It's just, Crim needs to be as consistent as everyone else if they're going to have a chance of kind of cruising through Elevate. And I don't think it is going to be easy. I really think Elevate can put up a bit of a challenge. But, Matt, in terms of the game modes that we're going to see, just specifically, just overall, which ones do you think Elevate stand the best chance at stealing?
S&D, without a doubt. Yeah. I think at Search and Destroy, that's probably where Elevate can make some noise. TJ, an explosive player in S&D, can definitely cause some problems.
So this becomes the best of 7 as well.
And we've had Karma disappear in S&Ds.
That's
like where all of a sudden you see him going 1-7, 1-8, 0-6 starts. He can't have starts like that against a team as talented in S&D as Elevate.
I mean, as I said, best of 7 now as we kind of go back to winners bracket final.
S&Ds all day.
Yeah, S&Ds all day. It really is, but they're still going to need to try and poach one respawn if possible. Maeve, which kind of respawn do you think that would be? Are we looking at hardpoint maybe, a slow start from Optic Gaming, Uplink?
Uplink, I think, would be their best opportunity. I think Optic Gaming still, when they're on point, is the best hardpoint team in the game, when they're playing well. Granted, they've been a little bit shaky, but when they're shooting straight, I think they're the best hardpoint team. Even when FaZe would beat them, I'd still be surprised they take hardpoint sometimes, just because Optic can be so dominant, even though they can be lazy, even though they don't rotate. They've got such a good group of guys when it comes to the slaying department. They can crush in that game type. Uplink all the way.
Honestly, don't disagree with you. I think Optic Gaming came here with a massive point to prove, and so far, so good. They've managed to succeed. They're here in the winners bracket final. They can get past this. They make it to that grand final where they've been pretty much all year long except for one event. Pressure on Team Elevate to see if they can shut down Optic Gaming on Championship Sunday. Drift hardpoint getting ready to be loaded up, and we're going to pass over to our commentators for the winners bracket final, Christopher Puckett and TP.
Thank you, fellas. It is time. The winners bracket finals. One of these squads guaranteed to make it into that championship match with $100,000 up for grabs in that first place. We'll start things off with Crim6, the in-game leader for Optic Gaming. And talk to me a little bit about this map specifically. We're opening up with Drift, DLC. We saw it in the past for Search. Now it's here for Hardpoint. What's the secret to success on this map?
Basically, making sure you're rotating to those hard points with plenty of time. More traditional style of hard point we're going to see. Making sure you're rotating, getting that intro time for each hill. You see this up top one to start off is a little bit scrappy. Going to be going back and forth. Both teams going to be getting their fair share of time, but it's all about that back snow hard point. Optic definitely spawning on this better one. It's Sunday. I think we're going to see a different Optic Gaming team today, but Elevate, if they can replicate what they were doing yesterday, teams should be scared.
I don't even know what Elevate was doing to FaZe and Denial yesterday. They were just looking simply incredible. The man to watch for me was TJ Halley, and I mean, just so young, hasn't been to a COD Champs, definitely the biggest tournament of his life, and I think this may be the best performance we've seen so far in his career.
Yeah, I think I have to agree with you there. You see the rotation start to go down. TJ Halley trying to get behind one player under a movement going to his advantage, but no, Formal was able to step it up. 4 dead for Optic now. You see where Elevate is spawning is so far from the hard point. This is definitely the setup you want. Optic Gaming starting to pull away, already 43-1. Looking like it's going to go up to 80. Back snow is definitely what you want to control, especially in this building here. Scump trying to win that gunfight, but Saints is going to be the one that needs to step up. He does it there, 2-piece, going into the hill. Good stuff from Elevate to try and bounce back, but lots of time in Optic's favor.
Slack trying to get into the mix now as well on a 2 streak there. Working with Saints to flood through. 18 points remain on this back hardpoint. You're going to see Octane with the bow, front window. He's cleaned up. TJ trying to get in, but it was Scump who came in on the flank, got the melee, has control. TJ's going to be able to milk the final 7 seconds. The rotation is going down. Octane has his work cut out for him. You got Formal as well as Crim waiting for him on the other side.
Bow fight going to start to go down here. Octane able to get the best of Formal, but 2 more Optic players ready there. Crim picking up the slack. Lots of bows set up in good positions from Optic, playing these spawns so correct, making sure they're getting this intro time. Going to look for Scump to be the main one in this hill. Sure enough, there he is. A-Room peeking out a little bit of a tough challenge, but when you're Scumpy, you can challenge anything you want with that submachine gun. Time going back and forth. Optic still retaining this good side of the map, so can't be too worried about it. As long as you have those spawns, you have more waves to work with on each hard point.
Yeah, but that is 7 straight kills for Elevate, and it looks like Saints is just going to jump in, try and pick up some scrap time. Finally, Optic switching up their route, going around back, didn't work. You can see Elevate has flipped the spawns. One player is going to be going on the long flank. That's Karma. Everyone else going to try and apply pressure for one more time. Karma's caught in the back by TJ. Great awareness from Elevate. Saints is going to leave the hard point for Slack. And now Saints is getting up close and personal. Shots coming from above. He's cut down. Slack now going to be pushing through. But let's take it to Octane. Octane trying to be the first to breach. Scump in his way. Saints comes flying through. Octane switching targets now. Slack was able to clean up Scump. Crim is going to get cycled out, and now you see Octane has broken through Elevate with 2 nice breaks here in the last minute.
That 6 streak from Octane was able to open up that map. Optic doing a much better job than yesterday. We see setting up for the new hills, but it doesn't matter. Octane able to get back behind, constantly win those bow battles, and he is starting off with a 2.0 kill death ratio. 16 and 8 to start. Definitely what you want to see on a bow heavy map like this. AR is definitely going to be taking over. Octane, again, we see him time going back and forth. A little bit of a shaky start for Elevate, but we see them bounce back, able to take the lead on this one, but the next hard point is very, very crucial. Need to get up top snow control before that big ol' avalanche hits.
Took about 3 minutes and 45 seconds for Elevate to establish their first lead in this game 1. Octane gonna get every last second here on hill 4. We'll go to the 5th hill as Octane will be behind enemy lines. Scump making his way up top, taking a few bullets, not falling yet. Octane's gonna find more action in the ski lodge, and now Octane going from the story. He's gonna find another kill. Octane is just cleaning up everyone. This is his second 6 streak, now a 7, looking for number 8. Finally gonna be taken down, but TJ is inside and scoring once again.
Very impressive gameplay from both teams, both doing a great job retaining those top spawns, but it keeps going back and forth. You see on the minimap on the left side of the screen how close usually those red triangles are to each other. That's why they're able to break so quickly. As soon as Octane gets one of those intro kills, they're able to break in. Avalanche is coming down though. You're gonna see a mad dash to the hill. Nades, perfect time for that. Octane setting up his class perfectly there. Looks like Elevate's gonna be able to get this last 15 scrap time. Formal trying to get in, but we see the Avalanche comes down. That's what the big ol' alarm's for. Snow coming down, easy death for Formal.
Yeah, it's hard to walk through falling snow boulders. Here we go, Octane back on your screen. I feel like it's just an injustice to show anyone else when he's shooting as well as he is. Gonna be picked out this time, but we'll go back to him off the respawn. Halfway point in the game. Optic playing a little bit more frantic, but now it looks like they've gotten those positions. They can slow it down once again. They started off so strong on this first hill. They got Scump back in that power position up top once again. He only has to watch one direction, 2 teammates behind him, but a big kill. That was TJ Howie causing problems. A 2-piece for him, and almost a third is gonna open things up here for Elevate, and Slacked is back in scoring once again.
Yeah, you can already tell OG is playing this quite well. Look at the scoreboard, kills to death, only one person even. That is Karma on the OG squad, but still, look at the kills don't matter if you're getting points in the hard point.
Right.
Good job from Karma, making the kills that matter. That's the things they were struggling with yesterday, but obviously making it work here. Able to retain this lead even though they're getting heavily outslayed. However, on Elevate, we see Saints struggling a little bit, but when you don't have certain control of hills, running a submachine gun can get quite tough.
And Elevate, I feel like this is definitely their weakest hill. Struggling both rotations on it. Let Optic pull away to a hefty 27-point lead once again. I mean, 27, it doesn't sound that big, but when you have 2 teams this even, it's going to come down to the wire. Crim6 looking for the 2-piece. Going to find Slacked and Saints. Now going to look for the third. Full red. Didn't see Octane hiding around that post. It's going to be TJ trying to break through, but Formal is there to back up Crim. And Formal needs to stay alive here. A lot of challenges coming in from both teams. No one just trying to wait for teammates. It's a hectic pace game.
Lots of individual plays happening there. Crim was able to open it up though for OG initially in that hill, in that shop area. Karma picking up some more scrap time. You see Optic seems to be getting the better half of the time on each of these hills. Lots of kills going back and forth, but again, we see Scump picking up this scrap and gonna be a nice 35 point lead going into this top hill. Elevate seems to be set up. Lots of cover up here. Octane and TJ setting up perfectly. Looks like they're going to be getting a lot of time. Crim taking his time, though, trying to get one of these kills. Lots of fire going down range. Able to pick up one. Trying to get these spawn flips for him and the OG squad.
Karma trying to get the shots down, can't find it, and he is going to be dropped. Scump falls as well. Slacked in the back, working with Octane. You got TJ in the kill feed as well. Nice clear. Elevate bringing this one back. 35 points still to go, trailing by 23 at this point. You have Saints inside. He's going to be playing a very similar role to Scump. He's in charge of watching the close quarters. Unfortunately, Crim busting through with the bow, Formal right with him. And both players will now be spreading out. Optic looks primed to go not only from this hill with the 15 more points, go right into the next one with full control.
Exactly. The spawns on these third and fourth kind of set up for each other. If you're able to retain the spawns on 3, you can easily rotate back to the 4s. You see the spawn points going up like I'm explaining right here. Optic kind of spreading out to make sure that they're holding these spawns. As long as they retain the back, it's okay if they give up a few seconds because each kill they will get with this spawn point will matter that much more.
Minute 44 to go. Less than a 10-point game. Karma trying to extend that lead, jumping in for Optic. Big fight here, gonna win it. Had to use the melee, but TJ is gonna be dropped. Octane and Saints still flood through. Octane cleaned up. Saints staying alive behind the wall, knows the pressure's coming. Nice job dealing with the first, but Crim is above him. Crim gonna find a second, misses the melee though. It's Slacked who gets in. Octane right behind him. This is going back and forth all the way to the end. Optic still with the lead though, and they jump back up to an 11 points and growing margin. Nice job here on the final hills. Can they keep up this pressure?
This game's definitely going to go down to the wire. Puckett looks like going to be about a 15-point different, but increasing. Formal able to get this scrap once again, but it's all about this last hill. The fights going down now are the most important of the entire map. If TJ is able to stay alive, wait for some support from Octane and keep these top snow mounds. The spawn point is definitely what you want to have. Looks like Optic has initial control, but good Semtex going across the map, blowing up Karma across. Another huge kill going down, and yes, Elevate's able to keep it. Formal in the not preferred side, going Octane being smart enough not to challenge that across the map and just retain these gunfights that matter.
Slacked has to defend himself. Saints outside, not able to do enough damage. It's all up to Octane here. Crim 6 versus Octane. Both players needing to reload. Octane gonna fall. TJ coming off the spawn, but it's a little late. Still mathematically possible for Elevate to complete this, but they gotta keep Optic out the full time. 207, 215. Elevate on the comeback. TJ looking for another. Octane over his shoulder, cleaning up everything, and I think they have just done it, team.
Oh my gosh, I can't believe Elevate was able to go from the bad side like that, able to break in. Huge clutch win at that point of the game. You only need a few seconds, able to break Optic out of their setup up top. Although Optic had those good spawns at the end of the game, their strategy doesn't matter. Get those clutch kills in the hill, and TJ and Octane, very, very impressive performance from both of them. 44 kills apiece, 88 between your two bow players on Drift. That's definitely what you want to see. What a crazy game to start off this best of 7 here at the Winners Finals.
You kicked off TJ in Season 3. One of the biggest mistakes Elevate has made in their career as a COD esports org, but they brought him back in for good reason. A 1.52 from him, and then of course Octane, you touched on it, brought in to be that strong bow for this squad, drops a 1.57, 88 kills between the two. Saints and Slacked, not the best games from either player. They had some big kills though, and a lot of pressure from Saints on those hardpoint, 9 captures to him. You gotta think though, this is a game that Optic threw. Up 25 points, unable to finish it in the last 55 seconds.
The majority of that map was completely in OG's favor. They're constantly getting that intro time, getting those spawn points, but at the last couple 30 seconds of that, they just couldn't win any of those clutch gunfights. That 2-piece by Teach to break into that last hill was extremely impressive. Optic retained the good spawn, but they're spawning just far enough. Able to get those last 10 seconds is Elevate. They were down about 7 points, able to sneak back in and win by 4. I'm excited to see the rest of the series after that one. Nail biter all the way. Biolab S&D coming up next.
Okay. And then I'll snipe top of this shit. All right.
Crazy,